He's getting older.
Champagne room.
Oh, hit the full button.
But not wiser.
Who's got AIDS?
This is The Lefty Show.
Welcome, everybody, to The Lefty Show. I am your host, Lefty. Glad to be here with all of you today. Monday, happy Monday, everybody, the 20th of October in the year of our Spaghetti Monster 2014. Welcome on, welcome all to The Lefty Show episode number 103. Hope to put on a good show for you today. I thank you all for joining. Thank you, everybody, for watching, liking, favoriting, subscribing on YouTube. YouTube.com/LeftyOX is where you can find the show in its YouTube formation, as well as other gaming and vlogging content. Thank you to everybody for following me on Twitter, @Lefty643. And thank you so much to everybody that has been sharing the show with friends, family, and coworkers. You want to help the show grow, don't you? You want to do your part. If you want to find out if there's something you can do, there is something you can do. Find the show wherever you get your podcasts for your PC, tablet, or mobile device. Android, iOS, it doesn't matter. Search The Lefty Show. Be sure to subscribe, download all the episodes at your leisure, and share it with friends. I thank you all for doing that. And thank you to everybody that's been donating. I'm raising.com/643 Productions. Had some donations roll in, and very much appreciate it. Love you all. You guys are amazing. Let's see, did I do? I finally did all the propers. I finally did them all. It's the last couple episodes I've forgotten to do the propers. Like an idiot. I'm just a very dumb man. I am not a smart man at all. It's just The good thing is with the propers though, it's like riding a bike. And unlike riding a bike, once you start, you can't really stop. Some people are, it's hard to make adjustments on the fly to something that you do 3, 4, sometimes 5 times a week. 5 times a week, you do something the exact same every time, and it gets a little bit hard to keep an eye on it. So I'm just the last couple times I've forgotten because I've had stuff to talk about. I wanted to just get right into it. Let's get right into me being an idiot. Now, I'm a reasonably intelligent guy. I play up I'm dumb, self-deprecation, but I would be lying if I said that I don't have an ego. Everybody does. Nothing wrong with it. No shame in it. I like to think of myself as nothing if not somebody who likes to think of myself this way, as would everybody. Think of myself as a reasonably intelligent person. Maybe, I don't know, even-keeled, maybe. Working my way towards that. But today, just now, I was cruising stories to do this show, and we're going to be doing a bit of a shortened show today. At least that's what I'm shooting for. Going for a bit of a shortened show because we're getting a late start anyway. Was searching for news stories, and there was something. Have you ever done this where you do something knowing full well that you're not going to like the result? You do something where you say, I'm going to get in this car, or I'm going to enter into this relationship, personal, romantic, business, whatever. I'm going to get on this roller coaster, even though I get motion sickness. I'm going to go on this boat, even though I get motion sickness. And then you're not going to like the result. You know that something's going to happen, or something's likely to happen that you are not going to be okay with. You're going to say, "Oh crap, nope," or you're going to puke all over yourself, or somebody else maybe. Well, that happened to me today. And again, reasonably intelligent person. I'm cruising stories. And I saw something on Reddit. Talked about a puppy size. The title was "A puppy-sized spider has been found in South America." Okay? Puppy-sized spider. And I clicked on it. I don't know why I did. I knew even before, call me Karnak, I knew even before clicking on that link that there was going to be a picture of a gigantic spider. Because, and here's the thing, because the story wasn't, we think there's one. The story wasn't, hey, our livestock keeps getting killed in South America by something we don't know what it is. And this is a story about stipulation and conjecture about what could possibly be the cause. The story has been discovered. That's got to contain a picture, right? And I clicked on it anyway. Not a fan of spiders at all. Fuck them. Fuck them all. Hate them. Broke my swear. That's how much I don't like them. That's how much. I broke my swear rule just for that species of animal. And I knew, clicking on that story, that not only was there going to be a picture of a spider, it would be a picture of a gigantic spider. And I wasn't disappointed. I promptly pooped myself. No, well, maybe not. But I was creeped out immediately. Oh, nope. You get that. You know, and it happens a lot for people that spend a lot of time on the internet. Hey, watch this guy get decapitated. You know what it's going to be. Why do we do this to ourselves? You know what the video of the guy getting decapitated is going to be like. You know it's going to be gruesome. But you go, oh, well, haven't seen it. Maybe it's nice. Could be good. It's good. It's not good. It's bad. It's very bad. Very, very bad. Very, very creepy. Very, very visceral. Very, very, oh my God, I don't want to watch this and I can never forget it. I can never forget it, never unsee it. Let me know I'm not that dumb. Tell me your stories. Here's what I want. I want you to tell me your stories of how you creeped yourself out or did something dumb that you knew you did something knowing full well what the result would be, but you did it anyway because I knew full well clicking on that story, on the other side of this click, there's a picture of a gigantic spider. That's real. It's a thing. Who hasn't seen Jumanji? Robin Williams, Bim Salabim, praise be to Dale. Jumanji, those spider things. I watched that. I hate those scenes. Even as a kid, get away from me. Those are real. That's a real thing. Big ass fucking spiders coming to get you. Oh God, just thinking about it. Just talking about it. Why the hell am I talking about it on this show? Oh my God, now I gotta look at the floor just to make sure there's not fucking puppy. The size of a damn puppy. Come on. What the hell are you doing, nature? Is there really a need for an 8-legged thing the size of a dog? Do we really need that? What's the evolution's theory like? You know what we need? Something gigantic, furry, and weird. I don't want to talk about it anymore. God, doing it to myself all over again. And this is another point, because if I was really a smart person, I wouldn't talk about it on the show. I'd make my tweet about it, and that'd be it. That would be the end of it. But no, I have to relay it on my show, and then, oh, God, just get that feeling. Here's the feeling that I have right now in my mouth, and it's a weird feeling in my teeth. Another weird thing about me, probably resulting from lack of intelligence or something. I swear to you that I can feel things in my teeth. I can feel it. Like just on the surface, like a weird feeling. And it happens, and God, as I think about it now, I get the feeling, and here's what it is. People chewing on towels. I don't know why. Don't know why. But if I see you chewing on a towel or any other cloth object, could be cotton, wool, doesn't matter. And it's the weird feeling in my teeth, and I don't know what that means. Like I'm going to you like you're like somebody out there is a doctor that's like, oh, I can explain this. No, listen, doc, let me talk to you. Quick, one-on-one moment here. When I see somebody do that, I think about me doing it and how awful it feels for me to do it, and then I get weirded out by it. What does that mean? And why do I watch basketball games where I know people are going to be chewing on towels? One question and then a follow-up. What does that mean, that whole, I see people chewing on towels and I go, and I feel it in my teeth and I'm like, ah. And why do I watch basketball games where I know people are going to do that? Why do I do it? I don't know. I know what's going to happen. I know I'm going to see people biting on towels. Every time I see it, it's gross. All right, something just moved. Where's the puppy-sized spider? I swear to God. The fuck? You want to get me to break my swear rule, this is how to do it. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Got to sound like Tony Soprano. Oh, Jesus. So that's an insight into me being an idiot.
That is totally absurd.
It is absurd, Hawk Harrelson. It is totally absurd. Now, speaking of things that are totally absurd, over the weekend we got college football fans treated to a great college game. Florida State, Notre Dame taking place at Doak Campbell Stadium in Tallahassee. Down there in Tallahassee, Florida, Panhandle. One of the worst parts of the freaking North America, seriously, the Panhandle of Florida. My God, man. My God. Is there a worse place to live than the Panhandle of Florida? Because if you're in the part that looks like a wang, you got Fort Lauderdale, Tampa, Orlando, Miami. Miami is not a yokel town. It's like a vibrant cityscape bought by drug money. Probably continued to be bought by drug money. There's the beach and stuff, but you go to the Panhandle. Just weird people. Even worse, I would argue, than Everglades people. I've seen them too. But watching Florida State, Notre Dame, I was two things. Talking about Jameis Winston, the quarterback of Florida State, much maligned quarterback, NFL prospect. But I was more struck by Jameis Winston's opponents, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. That's their little nickname. And the play-by-play guys said it a few times. I forget who was doing it. Was it Brad Nessler and I think it was Brad Nessler and Kirk Herbstreit. Brad Nessler said it a few times. The Fighting Irish, Fighting Irish, Fighting Irish. And a few times it just passed right over me, wash off my back, whatever. Then I realized Fighting Irish, and it happened as they said Fighting Irish, cutting away to the mascot that travels with the team. You'll see him, Notre Dame home games, and he travels with the team. And it's a guy with the red hair and the pale skin, dressed in the green like tuxedo looking thing with the green fedora short, being all, let's go Notre Dame. I don't do a good Irish accent at all. And I watched that, and I saw when there was that image on the screen, when there was that imagery, the optics, as people are fond of saying nowadays, the optics of that with Fighting Irish, I thought, where is the movement? Where is the movement? Where are the protesters outside of every stadium in which this team plays protesting the nickname of the Notre Dame football program, the Fighting Irish? I think it applies in college. It's weird because it applies to everything, every sporting program. They're the fighting this, fighting that. The Fighting Irish and the logo. The logo is a short leprechaun-looking man in the green suit with his dukes up. And is that not stereotypical of Irish people? Is that not an offensive caricature that is no longer represented by actual Irish people? Is that... Never mind, I won't for the moment get into the whole, a lot of drinking going on in Ireland. And, not all stereotypes are based on completely unfounded observations. They're stereotypes for a reason. We'll forget that argument for a moment. We're talking about a group of people, the Irish, characterized by this fighting stereotypical caricature. Both the image, the mascot, and the moniker, Fighting Irish. Obviously, the Irish, they get drunk and they fight. That's the stereotype. And there's a team called the Fighting Irish. T-shirts, all kinds of branding. The broadcasters don't shy away from saying it. They're, Fighting Irish, Fighting Irish, Fighting Irish. And I just want to know, where's the movement? Because I Googled. I looked it up. Did a quick Google search. There was nothing. Nothing outside of the odd sports writer trying to make a point about what I'm making a point on. That, hey, this is offensive. And if we are honestly going to go about finding offensive team names, team imagery, team branding, logos, mascots, if we're honestly going to do that, and it's honestly going to be about unfair stereotyping, negative stereotyping, is Fighting Irish a positive or negative stereotype, do you think? What do you think? Yeah, I'm betting negative. If we are fighting against negative stereotyping, if that's the fight, if that's what we're going against, why aren't there rallies outside of Notre Dame Stadium every single week? Why aren't people commissioning, campaigning, the FCC? Hey, FCC, make sure the broadcasters don't say Fighting Irish because that's offensive and it's stereotypical, which it is. Why aren't there people protesting outside the stadium? Why aren't commentators making a big to-do publicly about, I'm not going to say Fighting Irish anymore. It's just going to be Notre Dame. Nobody's saying that. Yet, you have all those things for Redskins. And the image that the Redskins use, that logo, and all their branding. You had it for Chief Illiniwek at the University of Illinois. Same exact thing. Now, never mind, that was just comically wrong because the Illini people wore loincloths and were tattooed head to toe. They didn't wear deer skins. They weren't Plains Indians. So that was just dumb. Oh, it's an honor to the Illini people. Really? Well, then when you get the drunken white college kid, tattoo him head to toe and put him in a loincloth and then trot him out there. Then, oh yeah, they didn't wear headdresses, didn't do any of that crap. They had mohawks, tattooed head to toe, wearing loincloths. That's the Illini Nation. And some drunken-ass bitch in stupid deerskins. But we have here, okay, outrage at the use of offensive imagery, an offensive stereotype, an offensive word. There's a bit of a difference between Fighting Irish, which is a negative stereotype, and Redskins, which defines a negative stereotype and is also itself a racial slur. Fighting Irish, it's kind of slurring, but it's certainly not a racial slur. Okay, I'll give you that. That should just mean that the intensity is turned down just a little, right? On the outrage machine. If we're honestly going to be outraged about the same things, outrage is outrage. Offense is offense, is it not? But yet you don't see it. I want to know why. And I don't mean to make a fallacious argument saying that, well, if you're not yelling about this, then you can't yell about that. Because that's a fallacy. All I want to know is to everybody who is so outraged, so completely outraged, gotta happen. Invalidate their patents, invalidate their trademarks, invalidate them all. FCC come down, make sure the broadcasters don't say it. Dan Snyder cannot continue calling his team the Redskins because it's offensive. To all those people that are so outraged by it. And I think it's stupid too. Yeah, it's stupid, of course, and it's offensive and it's a slur. Yeah. Are you outraged about Fighting Irish? You better be. Not just as outraged because of the aforementioned they don't exactly see eye to eye in terms of slur. But there should definitely be outrage at the use of Fighting Irish and that imagery and the logo and the mascot. But we don't. The Atlanta Braves had campaigns, people protesting. They had up until the mid to late 90s, they had a very offensive mascot. Very offensive. There's a guy with a big brown Indian head on him. They're moving away from that. They're sticking to the A now. Even the tomahawk is starting to go away. And I believe the tomahawk chop is dying off as well. But they had to deal with that. There was outrage, justifiable. But yet no outrage at the Fighting Irish. And I want to know, is it offensive only when it's a small group of people? Is it offensive only when it is Native Americans or some other minority group? But it's okay when it's potato squeezers. And the very fact that I can say potato squeezers and you're not incredibly upset proves my point. There are offensive things to be said about everybody. And we use them all. The Fighting Irish, the Ragin' Cajuns. Another NCAA team. We use all of that. And yet, only people are outraged at Native American imagery, at minority imagery. Well, wait, hold on a second. If you're going to be outraged at that, I want you to say, well, yeah, that needs to be changed too, but let's focus on Redskins still. Okay. If you can say that, fine. Great. Okay. That's all I want to know. I just want to know if people are outraged at it. If people can admit, yeah, that's offensive and stereotypical and wrong too. Okay. Focus on Redskins. I'm not here to try to say, well, you got to be just as mad at that and you got to be devoting just as many resources to that. No. That's Bush League. That's Bush League arguing. I just want people to have the realization that, and it's great too because they're playing the Florida State Seminoles. And the Seminoles have what many Native Americans outside the Seminole tribe say is an offensive pregame ritual in which probably a white guy, a white student dresses up as a Seminole, rides a horse with a flaming, carrying a flaming torch and spikes it down at the 50-yard line when they play home games. A lot of Native Americans offended by that outside the Seminole Nation. And Florida State carries this little paper around with them wherever they go, saying, hey, look, a group of Seminoles that we gave indefinite scholarships to every single year, the Seminole Nation, they say it's okay. So if you're going to say, well, the Seminole, that imagery, all those things, the tomahawk chop, because that was on TV, and they just won't stop doing it. Oh, offensive, right? If you're going to say that's offensive, it's all offensive, it's all offensive, you can't turn around in the same breath and say Fighting Irish. Can't do it. So I don't know. Fighting Irish, is it offensive? Should be. It is to me. I'm not even Irish. Not even an Irish. And not even an Irish. I'm not even Irish. But I can identify that it's offensive. I'm 1/32nd, 1/16th maybe Native American. Cherokee, which everybody's a little bit Cherokee, I guess. But I'm a little bit more than your average Joe. I don't care. What? Redskins? Yeah, well, okay. But I hope people can have those two existing in their minds. Because if you are all in the Redskins Native American imagery is totally incredibly offensive all the time, no matter what, then you better not have any consternation regarding the offensive nature of, say, Fighting Irish and their mascot and their logo, or the Ragin' Cajuns and what that implies, very subtle kind of racism. Better not have a problem with any of you. Better not have you should be able to say, yeah, okay, those are all offensive too. And if not, and if you say, well, the Fighting Irish, it's a da-da-da-da, and if you try to, you try to rationalize, you say, well, this was, then, and this was their history. Oh, okay. So we can't talk about history and what it was meant to be with regards to the Redskins, Chief Illiniwek, South Dakota, the big in college hockey, huge in college hockey. I believe South Dakota State, maybe? They had a Native American, the Sioux, I believe. Florida State. Because you can't be all against, all anger, shark swimming, and then, well, fighting Irish wasn't meant to be derogatory. It wasn't meant to be offensive and stereotypical, etc., etc., etc. But you can't do that. Oh, no. It doesn't matter the intent. It doesn't matter the history behind this organization's use of the term because it's Native American imagery. Well, okay, well then, no, then it's not really about offending people. It's not about. If you try to rationalize the difference in outrage between the two, then it's not really about offending people. It's about maximizing outrage. And it's about pushing your agenda, and your agenda doesn't necessarily line up with, hey, maybe we shouldn't be offending people unnecessarily. Then it's just you want to talk. You want people to pay attention to you, and you found something you can get your claws into with this whole Native American imagery outrage. Speaking of outrage at people draping themselves in Native American imagery, Jameis Winston, I believe I'm saying it wrong, quarterback for the Florida State Seminoles, been hearing a lot in the lead up to this game this week. This isn't sports related. Don't worry. Hearing a lot of people talk about Jameis Winston, much maligned, like I said, quarterback for the Florida State Seminoles, has had a litany of issues. Accused of, and I believe admitted to, petty theft, stealing crab legs. I believe there was another petty incident regarding theft or somebody's property or something. There's an issue regarding breaking NCAA rules, selling autographs, coining off of his likeness, which I don't have a problem with at all. And then a rape allegation made in 2012. And I hear the term a lot. I hear the term rapist used a lot in reference to Jameis Winston. And what people seem to be completely willfully remiss in remembering is that Jameis Winston was investigated and cleared. Not charged. Effectively cleared. I should say that. There was no proclamation that said, oh, well, he didn't do this. This was all bullcrap by the accuser. But he was investigated. I believe there was a grand jury convened. And there was no charging instrument. No charge. No indictment. No charges brought by the prosecutor. Nothing. Jameis Winston, not charged with a crime at all. Effectively cleared of the allegations. And yet, people use it as a reason, as a way to subtly jab at Jameis Winston. College fans and pundits alike. Well, they've got the rape allegation swirling. And I hear that. I heard a lot. And this is why Jameis Winston is a penis. And there's no doubt that he is a penis. But he was investigated, right? There was an investigation open, right? By the police, by the governing body? Yeah. They have proper jurisdiction? Yeah. And did they charge him? No. Have they just not charged him yet? Well, no. They came out and they said that there's not enough, there's no evidence to charge him. There's not enough, and they don't see a reason to charge him because there's not enough evidence of anything. Okay. So the investigation is, for the time being, closed. Well, yeah. And he's not a rapist. And the rape allegations aren't swirling. What is swirling are people taking up the shield of the supposed victim. Because, again, the victim, the alleged victim. Where's that? It's gone so far to one side. Jameis Winston is a rapist, and the girl leveling the allegations is a victim. Wait a minute. Jameis Winston was investigated and not charged, effectively cleared by the Tallahassee police. Well, there's investigation. What does that have to do with Jameis Winston? Who cares? He was investigated and not charged. He is not a rapist at all. Yet you still continue to refer to the female leveling the allegations as a victim of what? A victim of what? Somebody explain it to me. Explain to me exactly what this girl is a victim of. Because, and again, here's the problem I have, and it's not just because I'm I'm not even a Florida State fan. I don't watch a lot of college football. I watch that game because, holy crap, they're two top-ranked teams. Let me see how okay. People telling me to watch it. I'll watch. Okay. Here's my problem. Here's what it is. And it's not pure semantics. When somebody alleges a crime, makes an allegation of a crime against somebody else, that is a serious thing. Not to be taken lightly. Okay. When there is an investigation brought by the police or by a governing body with proper jurisdiction to make legal punishments, that is also a serious thing, not to be taken lightly. And likewise, whatever decision is arrived at by that body is also, just like the two previous things, a serious matter and not to be taken lightly. And that includes the decision not to charge. Jameis Winston, like I've said, has been effectively cleared of these charges brought against him. These allegations brought against him, they did not result in charges after an investigation. When you have that fact, it's a fact. And then when you, in the face of that fact, continue to refer to Jameis Winston as a rapist, when you continue to say, well, the rape allegations are swirling, and make note of it and deride Jameis Winston for that, he's an alleged rapist. What you do is you subjugate the legal process that just transpired. Making a report, making an allegation, and then an investigation by the police is a legal process. And that process arrived at a conclusion. You need to respect that conclusion, because if you don't, then what the hell do we have the legal process for in the first place? Well, then, just whatever. Take it to Twitter. Take it to Reddit. I say it all the time. Look, there's a good chance that Officer Darren Wilson is not going to be indicted by the grand jury in Ferguson. We need to respect that. Have to. None of this crap about, well, just charge him with something. Put him on trial for his life. Nothing just, we got to do something. No, we have a process. We have this little club called America. And we have this idea called rule of law. And the way that we govern ourselves, the way that we charge each other with crimes, the way we allege crimes, and then the way that we punish each other. And we all agreed on this set of rules. And in that set of rules is the possibility that somebody whose guilt is ambiguous will not be charged with a crime. And we have to respect that. To continue to say, well, just charge Darren Wilson with something. Or, in the case of Jameis Winston, well, he's an alleged rapist. He's a rapist, as some more abrasive pundits have referred to him. Say, the allegations are swirling. No, they're not. The allegations were made. The investigation completed. Charges not filed. That's the process. We need to respect it. Otherwise, like I've said, you nullify the process. There's no question that Jameis Winston is a penis. None at all. He's an idiot and a dumbass. Probably a little entitled. Maybe some other mental issues too. Not being able to say, hey, oh crap, I gotta. At the very best, I put myself in a bad situation with regards to this rape allegation. At the very best, I was in a bad situation. Shouldn't have done that. Okay. Well, now let me stand on top of a thing and scream. Let me steal crab legs. Come on, man. Don't be an idiot. No question about all of that. But he is not a rapist. Not. We need to respect the process by which he was deemed not to be a rapist. But that's not enough for people. That's not enough for many people. Oh, well, they got it wrong. Well, that's the system. That's the system. That's the system that you would use. That's the system that I would use. That's the system that your friends, your family, your loved ones may end up using. That whole guilty until proven innocent. That whole process tilted in favor of the accused, the defendant, tilted in their favor. There's a reason why we do all of it. If you want to completely knock it down and restart, okay, but you can't just pick and choose. Well, the process, they got this one wrong, so we got to do this and that and the other thing. Just he's a rapist, but even though he was cleared, even though he was effectively cleared without there was an investigation and no charging instrument filed. He's not a rapist. And this needs to stop. Not to protect Jameis Winston. Not to protect his NFL draft stock. I don't care. What I care about is the respect for the process. Because if that level of respect, generally speaking, goes down far enough, that respect will be reflected in the legislature. Then my rights may begin to be affected, influenced, eroded even further because you were all butthurt that Jameis Winston wasn't charged with rape when you really, really, really think he did it. Because you can't, outrage at these things. Okay. But the process was applied. It just didn't turn up in your favor. All right, let's do some news before we get out of here. All right, we got a few things to talk about. The news today, some very troubling thing out of the UK. I gotta say, very, very troubling. Wow. We have, I know I said thought crime was a thing before in a show. I did very much say that thought crime is real. But in the UK, somebody has actually been convicted of a thought crime. This is from ArsTechnica.com. It's the news of Lefty. A 39-year-old UK man has been convicted of possessing illegal cartoon drawings of young girls exposing themselves in school uniforms and engaging in sex acts. The case is believed to be the UK's first prosecution of illegal manga and anime images. Local media said that Robul Hoke was sentenced last week to 9 months imprisonment, though that sentence is suspended so long as the defendant does not break the law again. Police seized Hoke's computer in 2012 and said they found nearly 400 such images on it, none of which depicted real people, but were illegal nonetheless because of their similarity to child pornography. Hoke was initially charged with 20 counts of illegal possession, but eventually pled guilty to just 10 counts. And that's all I need to read. Because, you want some more? Okay, I'll read some more. Teesside Crown Court Judge Tony Briggs said the pictures were repulsive. Quote, "This is the material that clearly society and the public can well do without. Its danger is that it obviously portrays sexual activity with children, and the more it's portrayed, the more the ill-disposed may think it's acceptable," the judge told the South Bank Middlesbrough man. Prosecutors said the defendant was actively searching for this material on the internet, but the man's lawyer claimed that such cases could make inadvertent criminals of manga fans. This case should serve as warning to every manga and anime fan to be careful. Said Richard Bennett. "It seems there are many thousands of people in this country, if they are less than careful, who may find themselves in that position too." While the conviction might be a first in the UK, the US had its first such case in 2009. A prosecution that was alarming to some comics fans. Holy crap, I did not know. That's even worse. So then, yeah, we are now prosecuting thought crimes. Here's how. They're drawings. They're drawings. That's all. Not real. Not photographs. not photographs of real human beings. Because in the case of real human beings, determining child porn is easy, very easy. Was the subject of legal age to do whatever it is they were doing? Were they? Yes or no? And because the subject is a real human being, it's a real thing, an object that we can observe independently, that exists outside of the photograph or whatever it was depicted in. That human being exists elsewhere, or at least existed elsewhere, independently of that media. And then independently, you can interrogate that subject. Could be as simple as, how old you are, or look up how old they are when they were born. Then you can make the determination, this is a child. In pornography, child porn. Okay, easy. But now, to convict somebody of possessing drawings that were, quote, intended to be children, I got a big problem with that. Huge. Because, well, the drawing isn't telling you how old they are. In fact, the drawing isn't a thing. The drawing's a drawing. It doesn't have rights. It doesn't have protections. It's not a citizen. It's not anything. It's a couple of lines on paper or in a digital space. Never real. Never, ever real. Ever. It's completely the product of somebody's imagination. And somebody's partaking of it is also completely dependent on their imagination. The drawing can't tell you how old it is. The drawing's probably only it's probably within a couple years old if you want to get that technical about it. And in terms of who it is meant to depict and how old that subject is, again, the drawing doesn't tell you. And even if it did, so what? It's a drawing. But it can't tell you how old it is. So what you inherently have to do then to make it criminal, what you inherently have to do to assume that it is a child, is look at somebody's intent. Look at the intent of the drawer or the possessor of the material. So then what you're not really criminalizing in this sense the material. What you are criminalizing is the intent. What you are criminalizing is the thought. Because, oh yeah, look, I'm gonna to this drawing, and oh yeah, she's gonna be this old and that, and you're criminalizing that. That's what you're criminalizing, and that's a thought crime. That is a thought. That is literally a thought crime. Because you can't commit wrongs to a piece of paper or to a digital image of a completely an artistic drawing. You can't do it. You cannot sexually abuse something that only exists on paper or in somebody's mind. You have to criminalize, when you were looking at this, and when you were thinking that was a young person, weren't you? Yeah, so what? Say it. Yeah, don't be like, oh, well, maybe, could have been. We don't know. No. Yes, I was. Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Oh, the younger, the better, baby. Yeah. Yes, I was. That's a crime now. That's a crime. You will be arrested and convicted for it. In the UK and apparently the US, which I got to do some more reading on. More to come tomorrow, I guess. Got homework. Ugh. Hate homework. That's our society now. Think about that. That is our society. And there are people who will look at this and go, yeah, because we got to protect the children. Because, and it's even in the judge's thing. The judge said, if you do this, and it continues, maybe somewhere down the road, somebody thinks that this is acceptable. You are punishing somebody, you are criminalizing something because of something criminal, which is already criminal, that somebody else might do years down the road or some other time down the road. Done, I quit. Where's the asteroid? I hope Rosetta, because we're following it now, I hope Rosetta becomes an Earth-killing asteroid. I hope. Wipe us off the face of the planet. Restart. Let's bury information. Here's what we need to start doing. Let's start burying information, time capsules, this show, with illicit instructions on how to, or explicit instructions. Illicit instructions. All right, do this and stick it up your giggy, big stroker. No, with explicit instructions on how to recreate the data, how to get data off of these drives or wherever we store it, and store it underground in gigantic vaults. And then let the big, stupid asteroid come get us. Wipe us all out. We need to restart. And let those capsules serve as a warning to everybody else. Hey, next species that has coherent thought, don't do what we did. Because we started putting people in jail literally for the thoughts in their head. Let's bring it home. Woo! Another great episode of The Lefty Show. I thank you all for joining. I had a great time putting on the show for you. I hope you had a great time listening. Thank you to everybody for watching, liking, favoriting, subscribing on YouTube. YouTube.com/LeftyOX is where you can find the show in its YouTube formation, as well as gaming and vlogging content. So go over there, hit the subscribe button, youtube.com/LeftyOX. Thank you to everybody that's been following me on Twitter as well, which you can do at Lefty643 or twitter.com/Lefty643. Thank you to everybody that's been donating. I'mRaising.com/643 Productions is where you can go to do that. That's I'mRaising.com/643 Productions. All donations graciously accepted and very, very much appreciated. Thank you to everybody that has been helping the show grow, doing your part by sharing the show with friends, family, and coworkers, which you can do. Download the show wherever you get your podcasts, Android, iOS, it doesn't matter, for your PC, mobile device, or tablet. Search The Lefty Show. Thank you guys for joining. I hope you enjoyed. Enjoy your Monday. I'll catch you next time. I'm out. Bye. Hello there.